Good evening all and welcome to another video on All Hail the Ale. It's Sunday night, which means it's trad beer night, and the beers we're going for tonight, as you would have seen on the thumbnail, are Staropramen. But there's two. Are they the same? No, not all things are brewed equally. No, it is Staropramen, as you can see, but this one, in my right hand, the smaller bottle, is the original. This one is the imposter. Or is it? Well, this one's brewed in the Czech Republic. This one, not so much. This is brewed up the road in Burton. So yeah, both of them are 5% ABV. Both of them bear the name, but only one of them can win. And this is not so much a review as often you'll find on the channel, but this is just a taste test. Which one is better? If indeed one is better. So let's see, what is the difference on the bottles? Well, the Czech one says it's known for its balanced taste, whereas the UK brewed one says it's perfectly balanced. And yeah, what else is different on the bottle? Brewed with passion using the finest ingredients, including premium Czech hops on the UK one. Exactly the same on the Czech one. And other than that, that's pretty much it. There is a little bit of blurb about the brewery on the UK brewed one, saying that it was brewed since 1869. Nothing of the nature on the Czech bottle. No, nothing other than that. So, like I say, the smaller bottle is the Czech one, 500ml. The UK brewed one is 660. And yeah, I picked this one up in Tesco's, this one up in Lidl. And without further ado, we're going to get them out into some glasses and see what we think. So we're going to pour the UK brewed one first of all, because it's the bigger bottle. And I'm going to pour it into a tiny Rebel glass. I know it's not a proper glass, but I needed two glasses the same, just to make sure I've got consistency on the comparison. So that will do. So we have a nice golden lager, nothing untoward, nice white head, off-white head actually, and yeah, good colour to it. Let's get the Czech one out, and that one's going to go into a vocation glass. I needed them the same style, just different to look at, so I don't get my ancient head confused. And pour. Oh, hello. Don't know if it's my eyes. This one, Czech brewed one, is a little paler. Not a lot, just a little. Probably can't tell too much on the camera, but I can here with my actual eyes. Ever so subtle, ever so subtle. But yeah, otherwise, both clear, both golden, both got a slightly off-white head of a similar consistency. The Czech one on the right. So yeah, they look all right. So let's try not to spill any of these. Let's hold them properly. And we'll go for a whiff and see what the differences are. Did not expect it to be different, but it is. Anyway, we're going to get the scoreboard of joy up, because we're going to put the points on as we go. So the scoreboard looks slightly different today, like that. UK versus the Czech beer. We're going to get the red pen of judgment, and we're going to award the points. And yeah, we'll just go backwards to the point for the visuals. Really, in the grand scheme of things, bugger all in it. If anything, the head is retained slightly better on the UK one. Didn't expect that. Both glasses have nucleation points, albeit the tiny Rebel glass appears to have more, which I think is contributing to the longevity of the head. Yeah. The vocation glass does have some, but the tiny Rebel seem more effective. We're going to go and give a point visually to the UK one, only because that head retention is slightly better. It shouldn't make much of a difference. Anyway, aroma-wise, you'd think they'd be the same. But there is more, much more coming from the Czech brewed one. The UK one, slightly citrusy, ever so slightly spicy, slightly acidic on the nose, whereas this one, it's ever so slightly sweeter, but much more in the hop on the nose. Point is clearly going to go to the Czech one, because it's just better overall. So the body, I cannot imagine them to be much different at all. So we're going to go for the loser in the last round, which is the UK one. Exactly what I expect. Light to medium, smooth carbonation, and generally overall nice mouthfeel. And this one, much the same, slightly more on the carbonation on the Czech one, and I think that just works a little better, which means I'm going to give the point to the Czech one. And the flavour, this is the bit that I really wanted to see how different, if at all, they are. The UK one, it's light, it's clean, it's crisp, slightly boozy, malty. The hops are there. Slightly peppery, very slightly peppery. Whereas the Czech one, it's smoother. The malt is equally prominent. The hops are more balanced. There is a little bit more citrus to them. There is the pepperiness, but like I say, it's much more smooth, more balanced, more well-rounded as a flavour than the UK one. Yeah, the hops are a little brighter, a little smoother in the Czech one, and it's really a matter of preference. But for me, I prefer the Czech one. So as for the finish, I cannot see them being markedly different either. And well, you wouldn't expect it, would you really? It's light, it's fresh. Whereas this one, again, much like the main flavour, it's a little bit smoother, a little bit more balanced, a little bit more well-rounded on the Czech one. And in comparison, this one does not have any unpleasant aftertaste, whereas this one, by comparison, does. There is something a little bit not as nice as this one. Yeah, I'd describe it slightly metallic, I think. Yeah, the UK one's definitely got a metallic tang on the back end, which means the point goes to the Czech one. And that was a little bit more different than I was expecting, I'll be honest. I fully expected a difference, but not as much of a difference. I expected a much more subtle difference. I expected them to be overall the same, but the biggest difference I've got here is just how smooth the Czech one is in comparison to the one brewed in Burton. And don't get me wrong, it's not a bad beer. It's just not as good as the Czech one. The Czech one is smoother, slightly sweeter, more balanced, whereas the UK one just tastes, by comparison, a little bit artificial and just not as nice. I'm sure they use much the same ingredients, and as always, the key ingredient here that's going to be markedly different is the water. Um, who knows what else is different? They probably use the same yeast, probably use the same malts and hops. I'd like to think they would do anyway. And especially if it's brewed under license, you would expect some kind of quality control. Can the water make that much of a difference? Maybe it does. Maybe it's how they're kept. I don't know. But yeah, the key winner here is the Czech one. Much smoother, much nicer. Overall, a better drinking experience. And yeah, the Burton one is just not a patch on it by comparison. Now, I rated the Burton one quite nicely, quite highly, when I reviewed it before. Yeah. But the Czech one, better. By a long, long way. So yeah, if you haven't tried the Czech one, I strongly advise you get down to your local Lidl and find one because it's so much nicer. That said, the UK one is no slouch, but by comparison, it's nothing compared to the OG from the Czech Republic. So that's how we'll leave it. We'll leave it there and say, these have been the beers. I've been me. Those down there are the buttons. You know exactly what to do with them by now. You've got your like, comment, dislike, and subscribe. Choose any combination of them as you wish. And I'll see you again soon for another one. Bye for now.